And I surprised me was April, in that right wing with that speed, with that skill, yeah. Look, these boys, for me, the whole team did very well. But now one thing that we never see in that time is that where is he going with what he was doing at that time? That you guys, you've learned that even if you've been in this football for maybe 3 decades or 2 decades, doesn't guarantee you to stay in the Betway Premiership forever. I'm not putting it in a bad way, but I'm just putting it how I feel, that our own brothers and sisters, they did it for our country. Well done, Kai.
You need facts, figures, scores, and scoops, and the truth.
Oi, welcome to Tso's Football Wisdom. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and post. Oi, we are on Omni Audio. That's where we are. But for you too, welcome.
Grootman, what a weekend. Amachita Dlalile, young boys went, represented South Africa Lapago AFCON, and they did exceptional. An incredible list of young talented players. Tso Vilakazi, Kekana. What do you make of the team's overall performance throughout the entire tournament?
Firstly, I will apologize for one thing. If you see my eyes are red, it's because of Amachita. You know why? I couldn't sleep last night. The way I was so happy. I couldn't sleep last night. I was watching the game with my wife, and it was one of those nights that I will never forget in my life. Because it happens for the senior team. That was 96 Africa Cup of Nations when Bafana won. And then now Amachita, under 20, they did it last night. Coach Mtaka, Coach Garabo, the technical team, guys, I've got goosebumps as I'm talking now because of the job that you did, guys. I'm very, very proud. And, seeing, I'm not putting it in a bad way, but I'm just putting it how I feel, that our own brothers and sisters, they did it for our country. Well done, guys. To the boys, I can talk the whole day, the whole night. That's why I ask for apology that when you see my eyes red, it's because of you boys, Kekada. You boys, Sibia. Captain, you guys, you did wonders. It's something that will remain in our lives for years and years and years. We just created a history in South Africa and also in Africa. Because, under 20 national team to win that AFCON. It never happened before. You did it. Whenever you are now, just hit yourself in your chest to say, I'm proud of myself. We made our country proud. And the Southern Hemisphere, you made us proud. Well done to the team. Well done to the coach. Guys, I want to talk, but I don't know where to start.
Grootman, going back to the tournament, who were your first personal favorites and outstanding players?
Look, I was looking forward really to see Vilakazi shining. This boy from Sundowns, and I like Liseko, something like that. I just, the way I'm so happy, I just miss his name. Looking forward to see him, and I was so impressed with the left back, Sibia, the centre back was voted, I think, player of the tournament. The goalkeeper, wow. The players that I was looking forward really to see them shining, especially Vilakazi, and also Lazola did very well in that midfield. He controlled that midfield, was not losing the balls, good passes, good supporting in defense, good supporting going forward, and I was very pleased. And the boy also surprised me. And I surprised me was April. you know, in that right wing with that speed, with that skill, you know, yeah. Look, these boys, for me, the whole team did very well. But the players that I was looking forward really to shine was Vilakazi, and I think he had a decent tournament. Just that maybe we put more pressure on him. Obvious, I mean, playing for a big team, Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a coach for life. When you play for a big team like that, we always want to see you being the best out of all the other players. But he had a decent tournament.
We've seen this movie before, where young boys go out, represent their country, they play well, but then when it's supposed to get to a level of them playing for Bafana Bafana or even shining on a bigger stage, a lot of them fall short. I remember when the under-20s went and played the World Cup, we had the likes of Kemeti Rasmus, Thulani Serero, Samir Duti, Dalen Klassen, George Maluleka. A lot of those players went and played professionally and then represented well PSL. So Thulani Serero going overseas. Mara, they never got to play for Bafana Bafana because when they went and played that World Cup, we thought that's the future for Bafana Bafana. Are we saying that these under-20s are the future for Bafana Bafana? And given the chance, Hotman, which of these players would you promote now and why?
Look, let me point a finger. As I'm pointing a finger, I'm pointing at the association. Why am I pointing a finger to the association is because of I'm giving them a responsibility. If they can just keep those boys together, then we've got a future. The problem is that we don't have a continuity in our national team. That is the problem. That's why it didn't start with Abu Kemit, this thing of having a good team. It started with Abu Junaid Hartley, Stanton Fredericks, that under-20 that went to beat Ilontuzana in Brazil also. They played the U Championship also. And then they went to play the under-23 Olympics. That team, that's where everything started. And then from there, we're supposed to have a continuity from there, but we failed as an association. Here comes another group. That's where I was the captain of that group, where we had Stephen Pinar, Joseph Makanya, Andy Lekele, Ninja Mufukeng. All those guys, we had very, very good team. Abo Sean Porchitere. We had a very, very good team. Again, when we graduated to under-23, there was no continuity. Again, here comes another group where we had Abo Rio van Herden, Abo Junior Kanye with that under-20 again. What happened? Abo Lynch Pule. Again, we never had that continuity with those boys again. Then here comes Abo Rasmus, Abo George Malulek. All of those guys. Also, same thing. We never had again a continuity to say we're gonna keep this group. We're gonna make sure that in this group we monitor these boys. We keep the program running for these boys so that we're gonna have a bright future. So as I said, I'm pointing a finger. I'm pointing a finger to our association to say, can we have a continuity? I will say again, I'm very, very happy and proud that we've got a technical director that understands our football, that understands our culture, that understands our philosophy, that understands South African football, our personalities, where we come from as individual. You know, that is very important. That's another thing that people they tend to not to really see or recognize that what is the important role of that technical director. TD, you are doing a very good job. It never happened. We can go back in our history of football. They can say whatever that they want to say, but I will say it now. To say it never happened that we have an under-17 that is doing very well currently as we're speaking now. We've got our under-20 currently now that they just won the AFCON. Now they're going to play the World Cup. Again, we are on a good course with our Bafana that we're going to play again. We want to go to the AFCON. And again, looking forward to go to the World Cup. To me, it says, as a technical director, you're doing a very good job. So, as I'm pointing a finger, I'm pointing you. You know, we always talk, me and you. I'm pointing a finger to you, and I know that some of the things, you don't have control of. But I'm just pleading and asking to say, can we, as a national team, as an association, to have a continuity for just for once? Let's have a continuity for the next 5 years. For the next 5 years, let's put the target to say we're gonna keep this under 17s, we're gonna keep this under 20s, and then let's go with these guys so that we can build another team based on this continuity that we're gonna have. I think we're going to have a very bright future.
Hotman, what a weekend. It's been a crazy weekend all over for South African football. Mamelodi Sundowns were finally given the trophy. Looking weird. Abantu baya complain ngalela trophy lelana, like I don't know, abantu bayakhala ukuthi no sime for such a long time to see the trophy, only for the trophy to look the way that it looked. What do you think of the trophy, Hotman?
Man, you know the thing is that we as South Africans, we are spoiled with nice things, with beautiful things, with things that we really love. We want to share our memories with those things. And I think why I'm saying we are spoiled based on looking at the previous trophies that we used to have in the league. We always love that, cherish that, and all of that. So I think in the Betway Premiership, they just came with a different design, and it's just that we are not used to it. We are used to these big trophies where we can, hold up and all of that. So now they just come with a different trophy that we're not used to. But I think give it time and we associate ourselves with the trophy, we will, that love will come from within to say, this is what we working for. This is what we're fighting for the next 10 months. This is what we need to put our eyes on. But for me, it's a good trophy. And man, for Sundowns to Sundowns, maybe Sundowns, their arms are tired now. I don't know. Guys, are your arms not tired? Season in, season out, you lifting the trophy. Maybe you're tired, ne? Yeah, just give us a chance. No, I'm joking, guys. Then to Amasandawana, Kabuyelo, Minwana Pezul. Yeah, no, you guys, you. Let me start this way, so that people will understand why I'm saying this. Rome was not built in one day. I'll take you back, guys. We will laugh. I'll take you back. You still remember when the president, Mr. Motsepe, bought Sundowns? He bought players. I was also one of those players that were bought by Sundowns. Everyone was laughing. Hey, money can't buy you success. Hey, you must come and ask Dr. Koza and Dr. Mtaung how to get success. The man can't buy you success. Everyone was laughing. Hey, he buys everyone. Even now, if you can call him and say Makayantini, he will buy him. He doesn't know whether Makayantini is playing cricket or he's playing soccer, but he's going to buy him because he wants that team to be good. And everyone was laughing. And it was fun. But now, one thing that we never see in that time is that where is he going with what he was doing at that time? Then he got all these coaches from outside, Stoshkov, can name them. Then he decided to say, let me have our own coach. He called Coach Pitso Mosimane. I remember everyone was saying, no, it's not good enough. This is not SuperSport United. This is Sundowns. You still remember, guys? You forgot. When you guys said Pitso must go, you still remember? Then the president said, the coach is not going anywhere. He's going to stay here. And look at what he did, the coach. He put the structure. He put the philosophy, the way of playing, what type of players that they should come at Sundowns, what type of football they should display. Look at where Sundowns is today. Here comes, he called about Coach Rulane to come in, Coach Mangobo, Coach Steve Kompela. They build that now we call it institution because everyone learns from that team, Mamelodi Sundowns, how to build a team. That's why I said Rome was not built in one day. This team, to see it now, the way they're doing, the way they're winning trophies, no, it didn't happen overnight. It took them time. They had to sweat. There was blood. Everyone needs to play his role in terms of making sure that today we call it an institution, Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns, now everyone, they are scared of Mamelodi Sundowns, the whole Africa. When they play against Sundowns, everyone is shaking. Why? It's because of the structure that Coach Pitso put at Sundowns. And I'm saying to all the other coaches, about Coach Mangoba to continue, about Coach Rulane, and now Coach Cardoso, you guys, you're doing very well, and you've got pressure. You're always going to have pressure because of the role that Coach Pitso did at Sundowns, how to put that team together. Look now, it's so difficult to stop this train. I'm telling you. It's so difficult to stop this train. This train is moving. Look at this, been how many years now? Sundowns have been winning the league. And then now they are in the cup final, the Champions League final. It tells you that when you give yourself time to build, then you'll see the results. But in our culture, ngesizulu, uzokuvuna okutshalile. So that means ukuthi what is happening at Sundowns, it's what they've planted. Not yesterday, not last week, not last month, but years back. That's why you see Sundowns where they are today.
Mara Khotman, if we're being honest, a lot of South Africans are tired of seeing one team win the Premier League now. We know that next season Pirates is going to be number 2. That's predictable. Sundowns is going to be number 1. Sundowns is just going to keep winning it all over. What do you think they are doing right that every other team is not doing, other than just signing players? What are they doing right? Is it maybe from development structure? Like, what are they doing right that every other team in SA is not doing?
Let me teach our people about football before I can get to that. Actually, what I'm going to teach them, it goes to that question that I just got now to say. When Sundowns were buying players, we all knew that Sundowns have got money. We saw when the president bought Sundowns and the players that he was buying. We all saw that they've got money. Then when Sundowns was doing that, what were you doing, you guys? Knowing that you don't have money. Invest in development. Because you know that you cannot compete with Sundowns when it comes to money and buying players. But when you invest in development, it's going to sustain your team. It's going to sustain your team. Even if Sundowns comes in and say, we want to buy Mufukeng, but you know you've got 10 Mufukings. When the Sundowns goes to Stellenbosch and say, we want to Jaden Adams, you've got 20 Jaden Adams. Van Rooyen, you've got 10 Van Rooyen. But now the thing is that we are looking at Sundowns, what they're doing. We forgot about ourselves. What is that we need to do, Tina, in our teams? That's why our teams, they look like they are far away from where Sundowns is. And to be really honest, they're not far. It's how they put their plan, Sundowns, to say, this is how we're going to plan our thing, this is how we're going to move. And they're moving that direction. So what is working for Sundowns doesn't mean it's going to work for you. That's why I'm saying when the president started to buy players, what was happening to us? Yes, the teams were doing well. Pirates was doing well, Chiefs was doing well. But now, one thing that we didn't look at is that there's a future, there's still tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and next week, and next month, and next year. We forgot about that. And Sundowns, what they did was they look at the future. They didn't look at what is happening now. Now they look at the future to say, in the next 5-10 years, this is what we want to see ourselves. This is where we want to go in the next 5 years. And I think that's where the problem started with all our teams. They never sit down and say, let's put a 5-year plan. We've got 17 under 17 players. Let's get good under 17 players that we're gonna keep them, and then we're gonna play under 20, and then TTC from there we can promote them to the senior team. Then they'll sustain the team. We never thought of that. Instead, what we did, most of these teams, they did a cut and paste. Take this one, put it here. Take this one, put it here to match. Look, there's a difference when when you start to build a house from scratch, and when you've bought the house and then you demolish the house, la phezulu, and then you start on top of that and say you're gonna have a three double-story house. It's impossible because you don't know the foundation. How strong is the foundation for your house to really stand up and be a very beautiful and strong house? You don't know that foundation there. So Sundowns, what they did, they went down to that foundation. They got the foundation right. Then it's easy to go up there. Even if you want to go 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't matter, because the foundation that you've put there is very strong. So I think all the teams, they just missed that in terms of put a proper foundation that will sustain you for the next 5 years, 10 years. Look now, it's 8 time for my little Sundowns. It's not a cut and paste. They started from they've built this. They had to bring back the piano and Shushine Sundown style. That's why they call them Abafana style, because of what they're doing. So I'm saying to our teams, let's not behave as people that are doing events. People that they do events, they only plan for today. Wanna do this today, that, and that, and that, and that. Everyone's gonna be happy, done, finish. The event is done. 12 o'clock, everyone goes home. We still have tomorrow. We still have a day after tomorrow. Next week, next month, we're gonna have a 2-month break now. June, July, preparing for the next 10 months for the league. What are you doing now? Actually, even now, we are late. A minute you go to the second round of the season, that's where you're supposed to sit down and say, okay, this is my team. I like here and here and here and here. Now, okay, Sundowns have got this player. I think if I can get this player for next season, it's going to help me. Amazulu have got that player. Purukwane City have got that player. That's how you build a team. By the time the season ends, then you know which players that they're going to be there for you. The next 2 months, you build a team for the next 10 months. So I'm saying the mistake that they did based on the question that I got is that Sundowns, they went back. They started afresh. They started with the foundation, build up their team. They look at the future. They never look at the event of today. They look at the future. That's why you see them going. So these other teams, for me, I think they should learn from Sundowns to say, Roma's not built in one day. They need to take time and have a good plan so that they can succeed. They can also challenge Sundowns. They can challenge Sundowns. Sundowns, it's not that they are invisible. They play against Sundowns. Everyone in the Betway Premiership, they play against Sundowns. But it's how you prepare yourself to compete against Sundowns. That's the thing.
So, Hotman, Kaizer Chiefs came, won the Nedbank Cup. They were celebrating. It was good times. They were having the time of their life, and then they had to come back to reality now and fight for that number 8 spot in the league. And as things seem, it's not looking likely. They played to a 1-1 draw against Kukuna United, which are a point above them. And Masiti start to Ukbega. There's a lot that needs to be done at Kaizer Chiefs. I like what you said when you said Rome is not built in a day, but yeah, there's a lot that has to be done at Kaizer Chiefs. What do you make of their results against Kukuna United this weekend? And you predicted the score with shy spot on.
Makosi for life. It's so difficult to win a cup game against a big team like Orlando Pirates after all these years without a trophy. That mood, you get carried away, man. I'll sympathize with them. I will sympathize with them. But one thing that they need to look at is that they are a big team. The players, they need to realize they're playing for a big team. Each and every game for them should be a cup final. You know, it's not pleasing to see Kaizer Chiefs to fight for top 8. No ways. No ways. Something needs to be done. Now, let's take away the trophy thing. It's done. Done and dusted. Finish. Yes, we've closed. The 10 years, we've got the trophy. Now we need to play the top 8. How are we going to get that? I said 1-1 against Babina Noko, Sekukune United. It's because, one, I know Coach Eric. He's a very good coach. I like him. He plays beautiful football, and he's shown against Kaizer Chiefs. He just, in this game, I'm sure wherever he is now, he's blaming himself that I didn't get 3 points against Kaizer Chiefs because they were there for the taking. Kaizer Chiefs, they were still celebrating in Durban. I think the soul and everything still in Durban. It's only the body that was there in the game because really they didn't come to the party. Kaizer Chiefs players, I was not happy at all the way they performed in that game. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of Chiefs. And you know, I'm going to ask for this. I know a lot of people will question me, but I'm going to ask for this. Can Dr. Kezam Taung, can you please appoint somebody that will run the team? That will, a person that when things are not working in the team, you and the board will call him to come and account. A person that will gonna employ a coach, a person that is gonna sign players, not my kids. You know, it's sometimes difficult. I understand you, Dr. Kaizer, when you know you are a father also to me. You know, you I mean, I'm grown up today. I'm a father based on you guys' advice and guidance, and I know how difficult it is to point a finger in one of your kids when things are not going right. You know, as a father, as a parent, you're always going to protect your kids. And I think for now, I'm just asking that to have a healthy family and everything to be nice at home and the company itself. I think it will be nice if you can do that. Just get somebody that will do it, not your kids. It's not easy to really relate when things are not working out in the team. It's not easy to hammer your kids. That's not a nice thing to do. And I don't think it's something that any parent will do when your son or your daughter does something wrong and then you need to hit. That's not a nice thing. So I'm not saying it's nice when you hit somebody else's son or daughter. I'm not saying that. But I'm just talking now as a parent to say, I will never, in my point of view, even if I can have a business, I will never allow my kids to run my business. Because if that business collapses, I cannot point a finger to my kids to say, you, my son, you, my daughter, you made this company to collapse. I can't do that. I need to get somebody that he's knowledgeable, he's got experience, he's been in that field for years, he understands what's happening on the ground, and then he can handle the job very well. I cannot put my kids based on that is Vilakazi's company. And then my sons, they need to run my company. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. My kids running my company. And when I employed somebody that is studied, somebody that has got experience, somebody that has been in that environment and understand what's happening on the ground to run it, it's going to be different. I will see the fruits of that. compared to where my sons or my daughters, they will do it. I'm not saying everyone in your kids, they're not doing the right things. But I'm saying it will be better if you can get somebody that is well known, understands the game, he understands the dynamics, he understands the ground, he understands what's happening in South African football. And the most important thing is that he needs to understand the culture of the team.
Orlando Pirates had to play for the first time without Jose Rivero, Ovaile Goodman, and we saw how the boys played. Personally, I wasn't happy with their performance. Played 1-1 to TS Galaxy. What do you make of the overall performance at Mapagapaga without Jose Rivero?
Banokusho in life, but uNkulunkulu uyathatha, uNkulunkulu uyapha futhi. So Uzile came the coach, gave us all the good memories. Thank you very much, coach. Yes, we will miss you. No one is perfect in this world. What I'm going to say now is that Pirates, I'm sure the Dr. Ivan Kosa, everyone at Pirates, the supporters, everyone, including myself, we will miss you. Because after a long time, you brought, those glory days at Pirates, where now we saw these youngsters coming in, doing wonders. When was the last time the team played the Champions League? We were knocked out last season early, in the early hours of the day, breakfast, we were out by Galaxy, Johannesburg Galaxy of Botswana. We were out early in the morning, breakfast after 7, they took us out. But this season, then you've shown that why we are the best for Orlando Pirates. You took the team to the semi-final. Mistakes are always going to be there. Football is a game of mistakes. But what I will say is that, it was a difficult game for everyone. Coach Vilakazi, the technical team, the players, locker room, the management. It was a difficult day for everyone. But they had to prepare themselves for that game. And when they play against TS Galaxy, it's always a tough game. TS Galaxy, when they play Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns, they always give these teams, a tough time. It's something to think about, something to really worry them when they play against TS Galaxy, because they always come to the party. And look, the boys, they played well. It's good. Looking at the coach Vilakazi is there, the coach Jose is gone. Obviously, the influence of having the coach left, always gonna leave that void to the players. Then now players, they need to adjust in the life without the coach Jose. And I think for me, that's a fair result. That's a fair result looking at the coaches left, and now Coach Vilakazi needs to step in, and the technical team and everyone. That's a fair result. I will put it that way. That's a fair result for Orlando Pirates against TS Galaxy.
They take on Orlando Pirates, of course. They take on SuperSport United tomorrow. This has always been a team that challenges Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
And given the fact that SuperSport is fighting relegation, it's going to be a tough one for Mapagapaga. It's really going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy. What do you see happening there?
Yeah, that's another team again that also always gives Orlando Pirates a headache. SuperSport United, they play beautiful football. When I said earlier on, Rome was not built in one day. SuperSport, they lost their culture. They lost their philosophy. They lost their way of playing. I can't believe that SuperSport United, they are down there. And possibly, you'll never know this football. Possibly, they can go and play playoffs. Who knows? Depending on how other teams are playing. Because they're not in a good position. I don't know, maybe I don't want to lie, but I've never, since I've played my football, I've retired in the game, since I've been involved in the game, I will say it's the first time seeing SuperSport United fighting in that relegation zone. If I'm wrong, please bear with me and correct me. I'm not perfect, but my memory, it set me well, Uguti. I've never seen SuperSport United fighting for relegation. Because tomorrow, Paris will beat them. They're in trouble. Paris will beat them. We don't negotiate that. Paris, if you want to beat the champion, or if you want to be a champion, you must beat the rest and show that you want to be something. So Pirates, they will keep on going. Yes, Sundowns, they've won the league, champions. But for them, it's so important to keep that momentum so that come next season, they continue on that. So tomorrow night, ezimnyama ngenkanza kebholumus ngamasipala zawenze wawo. Ayizimnyama madoda. Mazanza za Pitori. What's happening, man? This team was a very good team from way back. We had a good structure, good people around, good coaches, good development in terms of the players that are coming from development to the senior team, and other teams, they buy those players. And what happened? What happened in the cycle? What happened? You forgot. You forgot. When the time goes, remember that when it goes, it's still gonna come back to 12. When it leaves 12, when it says 1 minute past 12, it's gonna come back there. When it comes back there, it's gonna say 1. It's after 12, 1 again. So remember that when that clock goes, it's gonna come back again. So I think SuperSport United forgot what is it that is working for them for the past years. Way back, when the guys of Chico Lawrence, they used to play for SuperSport United, the late John Waite, they used to play there. Captain Caetano Tembo used to play there. Himself, the coach, Andre Arens played there. You know, what happened? When the cycle has, if Vilmalahamba, Melelbuya foot back. So in SuperSport, it didn't come back. What happened, guys? Because you guys, everyone in South African football used to respect SuperSport United. Same applies to Ajax Cape Town, where they used to produce players about Steven Pitnar, about Tulano Serrero, Sean Potgieter, Dominic Isaacs, Sean Oliver. You can name them. Pochimpu. SuperSport United was one of the teams that will produce players. About Musane Zongo. Musane Zongo. Right now, let's talk now. Players that are doing well at Sundowns. Where are they coming from? Check. Kekana, Gran Kekana. He's doing very well at Sundowns. He comes from SuperSport United. Abo Sipambule, Tebogo Mukwena, Abo Rowan, Abo Litlaku, Masego. You know, all these players, they come from SuperSport United. So what happened in terms of continuity to continue build that team? Because you guys, you are a team before that will really, really give each and everyone a headache. We can call now Coach Pizzo and Coach Rolando. They will tell you that playing against SuperSport United, you must know that they will hurt you. Even if when you go there prepared very well, but they will come on you. What happened? I hope it's a lesson that you guys, you've learned that even if you've been in this football for maybe 3 decades or 2 decades, doesn't guarantee you to stay in the Betway Premiership forever. If you are not going to do the right things, it will show. That's why the team, it's suffering now. You're at a hospital, not yet ICU, but I think tomorrow night, you guys will be in ICU. I don't know who's going to bail you.